childhood up, we have had to conform to a certain social game. And so we're in a constant state of competition. This is the secret. You can't make a mistake.
Welcome, everybody, to Friends of Failure. I'm your host, Sam, and this is my co-host, Megan.
Heyo.
Today, we have a special guest. It's one of Megan's friends. This is Sondra. Hey, how you doing, Sondra?
Hi, I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Sam?
I am doing peachy. Thank you so much for asking. Really happy to have you on here. I guess Megan twisted your arm and got you to say yes finally, right?
Yeah, I used dirt and blackmail and yeah, she does not want to be here.
I know all of her failures, like number one, right? Oh man. But that's as if we talked about failure as a bad thing, right? Like failures lead to good things usually, like success.
Yeah, I asked Megan, like, oh, what should I talk about? And she had like a list of 100 of my failures just ready. Like, oh, it's so easy, Sondra. Like, here's your life.
I've been recording these for years.
I was ready.
Yeah, back in 2006, I remember very clearly that you said, oh, wow. No, that is what we do here, right? We talk about failures. I think we've had a few episodes that it's been kind of interesting because we go both sides of failure, I think, right? With the FML, it's kind of like, oh man, I stubbed my toe and now I'm not allowed to have tables in the house. You're like, F my life. And it's like, oh my gosh, like that's just unfortunate,
Oh yeah,
I think
we're reading FMLs now. On do you remember FMLs?
Like, yeah, from 2009.
Right, yeah.
That's right.
God. I used to post FMLs and I would get like so excited whenever mine were posted. I really thought that was like the epitome of publishing.
Oh my
You
gosh.
did it.
Like, I should be a writer.
I want to find one of yours. It's gonna be a goal.
I don't even remember. I remember me and one of my friends in 8th grade, we wrote about how we were out to dinner and the waitress mistook us for lesbians rather than just like platonic friends. And at the time, it was like 2008. So we were like, oh my God, like, can you believe? And now it's like, we thought we were lesbians. Like, it's really fine. Like, I'm okay. I made it out of that experience just fine. So I remember that was my cringiest FML, but it did get on there and people did like it a lot. So
we found
we had one like by a guy named Fart Bucket.
Yeah, good old Fart Bucket.
Fart Bucket. Like I was like, okay, someone took time to like, all right, what is my penman name? Fart Bucket. And then he posted FMLs about his life. Her life. I don't know actually.
It could be a female Fart Bucket.
It was a robot making FMLs named Fart Bucket. Wow. So other than I don't know if posting on FML would count as like a failure, unless maybe you learned like a lot about publishing through that.
Life failures.
Do what?
I said it's one of my biggest life failures.
She regrets it to this day.
You're at an interview and it's like, hey Sondra, what is one of your biggest regrets? And you're like, well, in 2008 Facebook. Right?
And I was like low on the internet. It's not a good look. So like, yeah, pretty up there.
Can't you like go back and delete all that? Just go.
If it even still exists, but like not that anyone could trace it back to me, except for the fact that I did just publicly say it on this podcast.
Yeah, people are like, we must be in search of now. No, that's great. Wasn't there another website?
Yeah, we tried using Reddit, and that was a rough road.
I don't recommend going on that website for any reason ever.
Oh wow. Have you ever heard of a I don't remember what it was like My Secret or something, but people would post like, yeah, I've been holding on to this secret for
I remember exactly what you're talking about.
What was that called?
I think My Secret is right. It sounds post secret.
Post secret.
Yeah.
It was books and like postcards, but there was a website just like text secrets. I know exactly what you're talking about, but I do not remember the name. Oh my God.
So it was
In high school, I used to like leave class and go into the bathroom to read those secrets. Like I was obsessed.
I need the secrets. Every single secret I collect, I become more powerful. It was crazy though, because you'd read some of these secrets and be like, well, now I have to carry this burden. Oh my God. And you're like, I don't know who these people are. Why do I care? But it was intense. Like,
Yeah, people
you
would
know,
lie a lot. I remember seeing ones about like people whose entire family were murdered, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but
Some of them are intense. I've seen the same thing on FML though, where people will post stuff and you're like, wow, that is more than FML. That is dark. Like,
yeah.
see it there.
And then you realize they're saying the plot of like a horror movie, and you go, wait a minute, I've seen that before. It's Nightmare on Elm Street. You're like, I just don't actually think this is possible, right? Hey, so I think I remember you saying something about like a cursed couch or something about like a Annabelle doll like in your apartment running around like levitating and stuff, something like that.
Both. No, this giant. I cannot say how giant it is. This giant pink couch behind me has ruined my life, ruined my dreams, devastated me, sent me into a spiral of depression.
oh God.
This is an evil couch.
I almost just said I don't want to talk about it, but like I guess
You brought it up, yeah.
I'm precisely here to talk about it.
You're like, today on this podcast, I will tell you of the curse of the big comfy couch. And people are like, I grew up watching that show, right?
Yeah, the comfy couch. I loved that show. Oh, that makes me sad. I've had like a full circle moment now.
Now there's sympathy for the couch.
Couch is my enemy.
Me and the couch were meant to be. So is this like a long-term couch situation, or you've only recently had to deal with this couch?
Yeah, this is a very recent issue in my life.
Didn't you just move? So it has to do with getting it in that apartment, or
Yeah, am I just supposed to start telling the story, or are you guys?
Yeah, no, you just go into it. We're here to hear the tale.
We're doing good cop, bad cop, and we're gonna interrogate you. Yeah. We're gonna find out about this big comfy couch, okay?
Ask me 20 questions about it.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Story on the couch. Oh geez. Oh, we drank at the same time.
Yeah, that was cute. I just let it happen.
I took the opportunity. I was like, I need water.
We're not failing when it comes to hydration.
That's right. We all started cheering for ourselves. Yay, we're hydrating. No, for real, people, drink your water. You need it.
I'm drinking alcohol, actually.
She's doing the opposite. Okay. Yeah.
The opposite of hydrating me, but failures. Yay. Good job.
Okay. So the big red couch.
Yeah, it's pink, but take us on the journey.
Okay, so I moved in to my very own apartment for the first time in my life. I'm 27, about a month and a half ago. And I was obviously like very excited about this, but it is like a lot of responsibility. And it took me like longer to do it than it would take your average person. I think you can see behind me, it's literally mostly just like boxes still. So I was already like kind of down on myself because I'm like not the most responsible or productive person, like haven't really been going like I've lived here for a month and a half and I haven't really like lived here because like all of my shit is still boxed up. So I really had like everything, like all my hopes like clung to this couch. I was like, as soon as I get this couch, the whole apartment's gonna come together. It's gonna feel like a home. I'm gonna be so proud of myself. Like it's all just gonna like become. It's just gonna work. I know it's a podcast, so people can't see me, but I'm weaving my fingers together in a combining motion.
It was a good
description. It's very theatrical. Yeah, I like it. If only you could see it on YouTube right now. Go to YouTube, do it.
I guess, yeah, sorry, I forgot there was also a YouTube portion. But another thing is I have attention deficit disorder, which I think now is called ADHD, which I don't super get because I'm not hyperactive, but I guess that's...
I think there's both.
They're two
right?
separate things. Yeah. One's ADD, which is attention deficit disorder, like you just have a problem paying attention. And then attention deficit hyper disorder is like you're bouncing off the walls and like people are like, hey.
I think that's how it used to be, but now for some reason there's just like the one thing. Like they've gotten rid of the two categories and now you're all just the one thing. But if you have ADHD without the hyperactive part, you're just like your diagnosis is ADHD without hyperactivity, which
Weird.
is just ADD, right? That makes
Yeah.
their failure. That's a
They're
failure
like,
right there.
Sondra, oh wow. They're like, Sondra, you wouldn't understand, okay?
They're failing. Anyway, yeah, so I do, and I am unmedicated because I haven't been able to like get someone to give me medication because completing tasks is very difficult.
It's the irony for me.
Yeah, it's an endless cycle of like I need to get these meds. Getting these meds will help me complete tasks. I can't complete tasks without the meds. I need meds. It's just like an endless. Anyway, so difficult for me to complete things. I'm also really bad at math, so like getting all the furniture to fit into my apartment and like making sure I was buying the right shit was something I was like very stressed about and like didn't know if I could do it the right way. And so far everything was going so well, like everything fit exactly where I thought it was going to fit. Like I was ordering all the right shit, it was all coming together. I was like, yes, you're killing it. Anyway, so this couch, this fucking couch. I live on a 5th floor walk up, and pretty much any self-respecting furniture delivery company refuses to carry things up more than like 2 flights of stairs. So I was having like, first of all, yeah, you're right, like just getting it up into the apartment was like a hell of a thing. Like this delivery guy showed up and he was like, yeah, I'm not carrying this up, this is insane. And I was like, what if I bribed you? Like, what if I paid you? And he was like, I guess, but it's like just me. Like, I don't have another guy. And I was like, I'm your other guy, which like I can't. What is going? I can't lift things. I weigh like 120 pounds. Like I'm not. I don't know. So
you're gonna bribe this guy to move a couch with you.
I bribed him, gave him cold hard cash, and I was
wow.
like, fucking do this. We got up 2 flights of stairs, and like a lot of shit went wrong. Like he kept dropping it on me. I have this giant fucking bruise on my leg. I have a huge bruise on my ankle. My hand was bleeding. It was like
my God,
a whole fucking thing. Anyway, we're 2 flights up, and he's like, no, like I'm sorry, like no, there's no way. But like I live in a really tiny hallway, and like my neighbors are elderly, and I was like, I can't just leave this giant couch like blocking the hallway, like so my neighbors can't get by. So there was like an empty apartment on that floor. I just like low-key broke into. I just like punched the door hard enough and it opened. I guess I shouldn't be admitting to illegal things on this podcast, but it's fine. I feel good.
There's just gonna be a whole part where it's going beep, and these old people on that, and they'll be like, what did we miss? Oh my. We'll see.
Kidding. This was all a friend of mine. So I punched the door and it opened and I was like, sweet. And I put the couch in there. And then the next day, I hired legit movers to bring the couch the rest of the 3 stories up, and they did that. And then I hired another guy to come unpack the couch and assemble the couch, because once again, I'm too much of a weakling to do it myself. So altogether, I like paid for the couch. Oh my God, I forgot to say, the company that delivered the couch, I also paid them to like assemble the couch. And on the day they were supposed to come to assemble the couch, they just like didn't. Like they just straight up didn't show, and I called them and I was like, are you coming? And they were like, no, what about next week? And I was like, I fucking hate you. I'm gonna sue you.
I need a couch yesterday. Do you understand? Yeah.
I'm not. Oh my God, I'm getting heated just thinking.
Getting all worked up.
But at this point, I've bought a couch, which is like almost as much as my entire rent is. Then I paid someone to bring it up 2 floors. Then I paid someone to bring it up 3 floors. Then I paid someone to put the couch together. And this was like after 5 weeks of waiting on this couch. And I was like, this is it. Like my life is going to start now. Like it's all coming together. And then I come out to look at this couch and it like, okay, you know how sectionals work? It's like an L. You put the 2 L's together. So online, when I looked at the measurements, like I looked at the width and it said like 70 inches, and I was like, oh, that's good. Like I want a couch that's 70 inches. But I didn't realize that measurement was just for like one part of the L.
Oh.
The couch is like 3 feet bigger than I thought it would be. And when I say it takes up, like, I don't even think this does it justice. Like, when I say this couch takes up my entire apartment, like, my whole apartment is just couch now. Like, I literally do not put a single other thing in my apartment because of this couch. And I can't, like, you can't return a couch. I mean, I guess I could, but I'd have to hire someone to pack it back up, hire another person to, like, package it, and then like hire someone to carry it down the stairs, hire someone else to pick it up, bring it back to the people I bought it from. Like it would cost more money.
Yeah. And there's too much effort. You're too far in.
So I'm like, I'm just fucking, this is my life now. Like all my apartment dreams are ruined. I like literally can't get any of the things I planned to get because it's just couch now. My whole life is couch.
But if you look at it from the bright side, it's not only a couch, but now it's your dining room table, right? It's your ottoman for your feet. It's your
guest
bed,
room. Yeah.
Your guest room. If you know, it does. I believe you when it say it's big. I'm sure you could stuff a mini fridge in there and make it your second kitchen.
I don't need a second kitchen. I live in the apartment in New York City. My kitchen is 3 feet away from me at all times. I did, my only solution, I Googled, like, can you get a couch, like, altered? Like, you can get clothes altered? I was like, someone pimp my couch? And there are these people in New York City, they call themselves Dr. Sofa, and they do just come into people's homes with a chainsaw, and they just,
I was about to say, like, do they just go near and then, like...
That's what their website leads me to believe, but I also feel insane for believing that. I'm like, are there really people who make a living off of doing surgery on people's couches? Like,
yeah.
Could it be true? Could it be that?
It's 2021, dude. I'm a doctor. I'm about to chainsaw your couch. Right?
In New York, too, that's got to be, like, a common issue. Not to downplay your plight and, like, the struggle that you had to go through for that. But there's all like New York apartments are weird small spaces in one way or another. And I'm sure everyone's like mismeasured. And then that's why they have a whole business where they chainsaw couches.
I think their bread and butter is like taking couches apart so they can fit through doorways and then putting the couch back together. I think that's like their main thing that they do. But then I'm like, okay, so just take the couch apart and then just don't put it back together. Like,
just trash part of it.
Do like half of your service for me. I know it sounds insane. You're the first people I've told about it because I know everyone else is gonna be like, why? Why would you do that to yourself and to your couch? But I hate it. I don't know what to tell you guys. I fucking hate it.
You could have gone the route of did you ever watch Friends?
Yes, of course. Pivot.
Okay. No, not Pivot. The Joey and Chandler had like they just had like
lazy boys.
Yeah, one lazy boy. Like I mean, that would have been a pain in the butt too to get up there because it's so heavy. But you would have had so much space.
Well, that's part of the reason I wanted the couch the size I wanted it, because it would only take up half my apartment, and then I would have had room for like a separate chair, like a reading nook. I had a whole bookcase over there planned. I was gonna maybe have like guinea pigs. I had a whole life plan.
Maybe guinea pigs.
Are the guinea pigs out now because you have nowhere for them to live?
Because the couch would eat the guinea pigs.
I think about all the guinea pigs that could have had happy homes and now will not because of this monstrosity.
Now I hate the couch. I'm on your side.
And everyone in my life, I'm like, everyone in my life, I've literally just told my boyfriend and my mom, and both of them were like, "You'll learn to love it." Like, I fucking won't. You guys are living in a fantasy world where I'll start to love this couch. I will not. I will never forgive it. I will never get over this.
It killed those hamsters I never had.
Killed my dreams. I'm upset.
The thing is, did you this is your first place to yourself, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't like know, but like, it's okay, right? Like this couch, if you really hate it as much as
Look,
you say,
she's shaking her. She's
if
still
you really
mad.
hate this, if
She's
you really
still
hate this couch, it'll go out the window and then you'll just get a new one and bring it in.
Wait, what do you mean? You want me to throw my couch out the window? Is that what I just heard?
No,
you
I
say?
don't want you to do that. I'm just saying that's a way to get rid of it faster. Going down the stairs is going to take way too long. I'm just,
If I didn't literally risk killing somebody by
Yeah.
doing that, I would not be opposed to it.
it's only 5 stories up in the air. It's only 5 stories.
It's only a couch.
Yeah.
Aside from air conditioning units falling, it's rough out there.
Well, you don't let that happen.
I actually tried to bribe someone to just put that in without a bracket, and he was like, no. So I'm glad he did that. I have a bracket now. It probably won't kill anyone, but
Yeah.
I did.
Because we're talking about an AC, like what is the temperature right now? You're in New York?
Yeah, it's actually really nice today. It's like 70 degrees out. Yeah.
Yeah, same.
It's plus like 30 degrees.
I asked the machine today, hey, what's the temperature today? And it was like, well, it's 97 degrees, but it actually feels like 104. And I was like, why would you tell me the second part? Why would you tell me that? I could have just been like, it's a hot 97, no big deal. But no, they're like very precisely, this is the temperature today.
I prefer to hear it straight, I want to know what it's about to feel like. I know what I'm about to walk into.
You want like the full-fledged, like it feels like 120, and you're like, it feels like 120, but it's, oh man.
You need to stay inside.
Then the worst, it's kind of like a best case scenario because it's always going to feel a little bit better than like if it says like feels like 104, you're never going to walk outside and be like, this is more than 104.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, this seems better than 104.
Because you'll have an expectation of it being worse.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna go the complete opposite route, and I'm gonna just start screaming about how hot it is outside. Feels like 104. I'm gonna go out there and be like, it feels like 110. People are gonna be so upset.
I simply would leave the house.
Yeah, the lesson is just to have super bad expectations, and then it'll be better.
Fake it till you make it.
Can never fail.
So have you moved before? Like, did you like have roommates or something like that?
Yeah, since I've lived in New York for 5 years now, and I think I've moved maybe 5 times. Like I've moved around a lot, but it is always like with roommates. This is my first time like completely on my own. And like I said, like besides this couch, I really was surprised at how well I was doing. Like I really didn't think I would be as like organized and like successful as I was, despite the fact that it's taken me a little longer than your average bear. But then this couch just destroyed my sense of self. So
and that's how she became the world's greatest painter of our time.
Yeah,
she's just angry.
Origin story.
Yeah, angry painting. That would be the name of the motion picture. I'll figure out the details. Like I'll write a script. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
I think that's just World War II.
Oh wow. Saving Private Ryan.
Saving Private Couch.
Oh wow. Full circle.
Don't save it.
Destroying Private Couch. That could be the
Private
couch.
I've moved a few times too, and like there's always like the weirdest things where you move a couple of times and you go, okay, I'm figuring it out, and like you're on like your 5th, or because I always would like offer to help people move because I just know how much it sucks. The more the merrier, right? And there are some situations where like a townhome apartment or whatever, and they'll be like, hey, it's 2 floors, and the stairs are just like boom straight up, but it's like the size of a human being. And so you're like, well, what was supposed to go up there? And they're like, whatever you want. And then all of a sudden you're trying to move this furniture in these like weird spaces, because like apartments and townhomes and all that stuff, it's just piled on top of each other. It's absolutely ridiculous. Have you looked up like moving fails on YouTube?
Oh, I don't know if I'd want to. I feel like that'd just be people hurting themselves.
That could be the worst thing for myself right now.
Yeah, I don't know if you're in the mental state for that, but I have seen people where like they're on multiple stories up and they'll think they're like, ooh, smart man, and they'll set up like a pulley system outside of
It
their
goes through a
patio.
window.
And they're like, I'm just gonna lift this couch or a big screen TV, and it either crashes to the ground or it like swings into
Yeah.
their glass. Yeah.
Like they get it off the ground, but then gravity's real.
Gravity's a bitch. Yeah.
I think they just recently confirmed that gravity is in fact real.
I thought you were gonna say that
It's-
gravity is a bitch.
They've done several thousand tests, and there is absolute for sure confirmation gravity is a bitch.
Oh no.
Hey, getting into moving is like really easy. You get set up with the right company and like you'll make good money. You knock out several jobs and then go home. And I was like, no, that's not how moving works.
I've only heard from movers that it's like literally the worst job you could have. Like
on the planet.
I've never heard a mover been like, I'm very glad I did this. Like, good life decision by me. You guys should have a mover on the podcast because
It's not a bad idea. I'm sure that they've seen some shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
I wonder.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the thing about this move is that like before I had roommates, so I was really only I only had bedroom furniture. So all my moves before this were easy because I was just bringing all the same shit from like new place to new place to new place, setting it up and like calling it a day. You know what I mean? It took like at most 3 days. But the thing about like this place is it's like, completely all mine, and I only had bedroom furniture, so I didn't have like a single thing for my living room. So I had to buy like literally every single, like my laptop right now is on like a kitchen hutch that you guys can't see. I had to buy the fucking couch, obviously, had to buy that desk, had to buy this like coffee table, had to buy this AC. Like I literally had to start like from zero. So it wasn't like, it was just a matter of like bringing my old shit into this new place. It was like literally getting all new things. It was stressful, y'all.
This is how I imagine this, right? From what you've told us so far, you're gonna move in like a year, and when you move, you're gonna say later couch, and you're just gonna leave it in there. Like you're gonna get a phone call from the landlord who's like, hey, there's this giant couch in here, and you're gonna be like, yeah, it's yours now, good luck with that. And you're gonna leave like the kitchen hutch and all the other stuff, and you're gonna be like, the next apartment you get or house, you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm a minimalist. And you're just not going to have anything. You're going to have like a really comfortable bed, and that's it. Maybe a TV somewhere.
I did bring a TV. That is the one.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't plug in. So, oh, right there.
Oh, you have a fireplace. Look at that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't work, but it does look nice.
What do you mean it doesn't work? You're supposed to flip a switch and it turns on?
Well, yeah. It's typically how fireplaces.
That's how a lot of them work.
Wow.
I don't think it's an actual I don't think it leads anywhere. I'm sure at one point in time it did, but
it's like blocked off.
You should test it. Just
just start a fire in my apartment. Also, oh my god, I wish I could show you guys my fire escape. It's so crazy. I've never seen anything like it. So instead of my fire escape being like, in a window in my apartment like it should be, the fire escape is just like in the middle of my hallway, like over the stairs. So if you were to like climb up the ladder and slip and fall, you would just like fall down
onto the stairs.
Flights of stairs. So like, yes, like if there were a fire, I'd have to climb up this terrifying ladder onto the roof. So I have to go higher before going lower. Like, what kind of sense does that make? I'm gonna die here.
With the couch.
Yeah, it's not even a fire. It's the couch. It's just a murderous, evil couch.
I mean, you told me before we started this, you told me that I should light the couch on fire. So that'll be it.
That's why you have the fireplace.
And then I'm gonna try to go up.
That makes sense. Okay, now I'm putting the pieces together of the couch is why it's on fire. That's why you have to use the scary fire escape. Okay, it all makes sense. Whenever you're picking a place in New York, like you're like, hey, I got to find a spot, whether it's roommates or yourself, would you say it's a pretty difficult task, or is it, hey, you find what you can get and then you just move there? Like, I don't know what part of New York you're in, but I know it can get crowded, right?
I mean, I'd say both. I'd answer yes to both of those questions. It is extremely hard, and then also when you find something that doesn't suck, you just have to apply for it like literally immediately. I've had friends who applied to apartments like while on the apartment tour, and like they still didn't get it because somebody else on the tour like applied for it first, and that's not something that's only happened like one time. That's something that's happened to like numerous people I know numerous times. Like it's brutal out there.
It's
Yeah.
a game.
New York is cutthroat. It's getting to be like that here too, just with, I guess, the housing market, because we have friends that were trying to get a house near us and it was the same scenario. They'd be like touring the house, fill out the application, and then they'd either never get a call or they'd be like, yeah, we filled that like a day or two ago. It's like, well, why did I tour the house? Like, what?
That also happens all the time where like you tour a place and then like on your way out the person is like, oh sorry, like someone just texted me that they like got it, and I was like, why would you play with my heart like this? Why would you even bring me on this tour if you knew someone was about to text you to say that they fucking wanted it?
I'm low key kind of waiting for like a tour of people that go behind you in the camera, and they're like, and she will be here long, and then you can rent this space. Oh, I'm sorry, Sondra, it's been taken. You're like, I live here already.
I live here, you can't take it.
Yeah, that is wild to me, like it's literally a competition. There are people fighting for their apartments.
And it's not like I didn't even realize how little, like I didn't realize the market here was so different elsewhere until like to get this apartment I literally had to give like bank statements. I had to like literally show the realtor like every single cent of money that I own. I had to give her like pay stubs. I had to give her like my dad's pay stubs. Like this woman could literally steal my life. Like she could easily, she has
Wow.
my social, she has my bank account. Like she could easily just become me. She could
Just
take my job.
passport, everything, birth certificate.
Like I didn't realize I was talking to someone who lives, fucking somewhere normal, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I just gave her like one pay stub and my driver's license, and then I signed the lease." And I was like, "What kind of fantasy world? Like, what is that?"
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a
They're
lot.
like, hey, we need a very large sample of your blood. You're like, what do you mean? And they're like, 2 pints of blood.
Honestly,
That's all we need.
I would have given it to her. Like I would have. That's how hard it is. I would have given it to her.
Yeah, I'm moving in like a little over a month, and we already found the place. It's right down the road. Pretty excited about it. I like, nobody ever wants to move, right?
No.
Like you want the outcome of the move, right? Unless your case and you have a giant couch there, which whether you knew it or not, it was waiting. It was like the time has come. But it's so weird because I think about, man, I'm excited to be in a new place, but I don't want to move. And so there's this weird feeling of like, or what if I just live in this spot for the rest of my entire life, which is not reasonable. But yeah, I think this area has gotten way more populated. There's a lot more people moving to this general area, right? And I think it has created kind of a frenzy of, not that crazy. I only had to like sell three pints of blood for them to go, okay, hey, we're gonna take your application, which of course someone already had it. So
You have to sign off your future children and be like, you can have the first 3, and then
yeah, you're like, hey, I'm not gonna have kids. They're like, ooh, doesn't look like you
you
get
can't
the
move in
apartment.
here.
I mean,
We've been talking. What did you say?
I'm just like I've been kind of trying to get out of New York for like a long time. I mean, obviously it's like great. It's just not really my cup of tea. But then I got this place and like worked so hard on it, and now I'm feeling like I can literally never leave. Like I'm never doing this ever again. Like I'm dying here. Like that's the reality of the situation. Like this is it.
And
This
she
is it.
lived with that couch for 70 years.
Named it, had good times with it.
What I can't wait for is if they do, in fact, just chainsaw a portion of it off, which I want more than anything. Like, what are they gonna do with the like, can I keep it as an ottoman? Like,
I bet you could convert it. Just tell him to whack off the back of it.
just like
Some Sondra
Right.
DIY. Yeah.
fucking sick. Oh my god. I wish I had done this a little bit later so I could update you guys on if they allow that. Or maybe they'll email me back and be like, that's an insane idea. I don't know why you thought that. But either way, I'm very excited.
But your name says sofa surgeon.
Yeah, brag about tearing couches apart. So
Well, you're coming around to the positive side, so we're getting there. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, at
yeah, I
least.
guess I was supposed to come with like a story that was like, oh hey, it worked out. But,
You're in the middle of it, yeah.
it
Yeah.
did not work out. Let me tell you, I'm devastated. The day it came, I literally fetal position on that couch like for an entire day. Like I didn't even listen to music, play on my phone, like watch TV. I literally just like sat on that couch and was like, I can't believe
This is happening.
my life.
I'm trying not to laugh. The image is
No, I mean, it's like, it's funny. It is funny, obviously. Like a couch literally completely like sidelined my entire like vision of the future. But like I was really bummed about it. Here, I'm gonna turn a light on now that it's getting dark.
transition.
Perfect.
There we go.
Oh man, now I'm weirdly
Look at that stage lighting.
lit.
So just turn slightly to right, and then you're good. No, you're fine. Yeah, perfect.
There we go.
Better. Okay, just to demonstrate like what I just had to go through to turn that light on. Here's the giant box that the couch came in that I now have to keep in my kitchen in case I do decide to return it like an insane person. So yeah, just to turn my light switch on, I have to like fucking Indiana Jones, like hop around, like slide through, like just barely like it's a mess.
It looks like a pillar that's like holding up a wall, and it's like a fixture of the apartment.
Somebody turns the wrong way, hits it, the whole thing just
I have a task rabbit in here to do like a small task. They all make fun of me. They're like, we've been coming here for so long. When are you actually going to move in? And I'm like, that's rude, Prince. Fucking get out of my apartment.
Have you used TaskRabbit before?
I mean,
all the time. Yeah.
Before I'd say like maybe once or twice a year I'll have something I need a TaskRabbit for, but since moving, maybe 20 times. Like I have TaskRabbits I'm friends with now. Like I don't even go through TaskRabbit anymore. I just text them.
What would name a couple of tasks?
Well, I always need people to bring stuff up for me because I obviously can't carry like heavy furniture up 5 flights of stairs. So I have a guy, like literally every time I get a piece of furniture, I have the same guy bring it up for me because he's just like nice and always happy to do it. And I obviously like paying him. He deserves it.
Sure.
And then I had someone install my AC. I had someone build my couch. I should have had someone build my desk in my kitchen hutch, but my boyfriend and I decided to do it together, and it was.
Is that a bonding experience?
It was a trying time for both of us, I think. I had someone build my bed frame. So yeah, mostly just like carrying heavy stuff and building stuff that I don't feel like I have the expertise to build myself.
Building furniture with like a significant other it's always a whole challenge. I just step away and I'm like, Jeff, it's yours. You have fun with that. I'm gonna go do something else now.
The desk, we had our little squabbles, but like mostly it was a fun time. At the end of it, I was like, I'm glad we did that. Like we got to know each other better. I feel like it strengthened us. Like we can kill this kitchen hutch. And then we got to the kitchen hutch and it was like, I think we're breaking up. Like I don't know. There was literally, this is not an exaggeration, there was literally a point where I was begging him to stop. I was like, please just drop your tools. Let's go back to your apartment. We can eat ice cream and play Pikmin. Like we can just forget that this ever happened. And he was like, no, I have to finish it. He was like so dead set. He You just couldn't let it go unfinished.
It brings out a different side in people.
We got like 90% of the way there, and then we gave up. And then I had a task where I would do the rest.
That's a good lesson too.
They show up and they go, "You just had to put this handle on." It's fine. Leave it alone, right? I think it is interesting to think about failure in a sense of relationships and how overcoming failure is how a relationship stays committed, right? But what's crazy is that it's not anything like movies or even some books that you might read that talk about how relationships are. I think it's really interesting how it'd be like, yeah, and like everything was totally fine, and then we decided to put together this couch and it shook everything that we ever knew, and
I couldn't
it
look him in
seems,
the eyes.
yeah, it seems really strange, but it can really affect a dynamic based on what you go through trying to work together, you know?
No, you're so right. It like going through something so small and simple can make something apparent to you that you like didn't realize before. When I was in high school, I was dating this guy for like more than 2 years, like a pretty serious relationship for two idiots in high school. And he came to my house one day and rang the doorbell, and I was in the bathroom because I was taking a shit. I'm gonna be real with you. So my friend answered the door for me. Like, instead of me answering the door, my friend answered the door. And my boyfriend was like, "Wow, Sondra cares about me so little. She can't even answer the door for me." And he was like so upset about it. And I was like, that's it. Like, I literally later that day, after like 2.5 years, I broke up with him because he was mad at me that I was taking a poop at an inopportune time. And I'm like, that's what happens. It's just like one little thing that all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you're like, oh wow, that
That's-
person's like that.
That was basically like the last thing that happened that ended my high school relationship. Was a tiny thing. It was a tiny thing like that, and it was like, I'm done, I'm out, I'm over it, like I cannot do this anymore. And that was the final straw. That was it. Also, I'm going to ask you later which one that was so we can laugh about it.
The main one, the one I was with for like 2.5 years.
What I'm assuming, yeah,
you know who I'm talking about.
I already know then.
That son of a gun. Rascals.
Silly boys, or whatever people say when they excuse behavior.
I think it's really strange that we like date people when we're in public school. Like during it seemed really normal, but I look back at it and I was like, what did we think was going to happen? I mean, I understand there's stories out there like, this was my high school sweetheart, but that's like 1 in a billion people. That's not like we're all dating like, yeah, we're gonna figure it out before we even graduate.
But that's what you think when you're that old. When you're that old, you're like, this is gonna work, this is fine, I have my whole life planned out, blah blah blah. And then you look back and you're like, you dumb sweet baby.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, I had like the weirdest like notions of like, I'm probably not gonna make it out of my 20s. Why did I think that? Like, and I'm not the only one that has said that before. A lot of people go, yeah, I just assumed I was a baby idiot, and I now was an adult baby idiot, and in my 20s I was going to get eaten by a bear, you know?
I know a lot of people that for some reason were like, I sense it, I'm dying young. And it's
yeah.
like,
It's called Final Destination. We all saw it way too young.
Oh my God. I think honestly, because I think we had similar friends. I had a lot that were like, I won't get past 30, so I'm not going to plan for that, like that kind of thing. And which is, yeah, like I never got to that point of like, fuck it, I don't even want to think about getting that far. But part of me thinks is that like a combination of the music or the pop culture or movies that they were listening to that makes them think all the good die young, or like it's better to have a young tragic life than, you know, a boring life.
God damn music.
Dude, it's something that's really crazy because it's now become almost like a marketing ploy of, you know, look, it's happening in a lot of different areas, but one area that I see a lot of it, because I really enjoy music from a whole spectrum, right? There are a lot of people that they literally start making it big and they're in less than the age of 22, and then they overdose or they kill themselves, and like it's super crazy because I think that's been happening for a long time, and we see that and we go, oh yeah, superstar, right? Like, but I don't know. I think a lot of things are changing too, where people are even trying to talk or make art about how we look at suicide and dying young actually is. But I mean, like, have you ever listened to Lana Del Rey? She has a whole album. Like, there's a song called "Born to Die." Like, I guess she's kind of right.
She does love singing about dying.
I mean, it's weird. Like, she almost like romanticizes dying. Like that was her.
100%. Yeah, I'm not her biggest fan.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get roasted on the internet now because her fans are insane.
Are they?
Yeah, they're like ride or die for Lana Del Rey.
I'm fucked up, Sam.
Well, it's a cult, and we all have to join one, and I don't blame you guys, right? I accidentally joined a cult one time, and look, there's benefits, right? There's perks. It's all fine.
I'm hoping that's all a joke, but there's part of me that's
Yeah,
like
something
concerned.
Yeah.
No, I was just like, like you go to work for companies or whatever, and it's like the corporate lingo and the narrative and the whatever. You like, people go work for Target and they're like, Target is life. And you go, well, it's not. And they're like, Target is life. And you're like, whoa, did you just pull a switchblade on me, bro? And they're like greasing their hair back, and it's grease all over again.
And then they're like, we bleed red. And you're like, yeah, that's blood.
That's human blood. It's just blood, man.
Yeah, my brother got pulled into a pyramid scheme when he was like 16, I think. Fun stuff.
Oh gosh. I didn't remember that one.
It was like a very short stint. He figured it out, but
He made it out alive without. Yeah.
So what happens? Like, if you join a pyramid scheme, what's going down?
I don't think he got that far. I think he realized how sketchy it was before he like gave any money up. But like he was really like he believed it. He was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna make so much money!" Like
That's how they get you. Yeah.
I don't even remember like who indoctrinated him. Like I think one of his friends who was like dumb enough to like.
Well, and for like a 16-year-old, those are I don't blame a 16-year-old at all.
No, of course not.
Yeah, a child, a teenager, but like the adults, the people that we knew from high school that now message us on Facebook, and they're like, hey, do you want to buy some Lularoe leggings? Or why don't you? Yeah.
I think it's also interesting too how there's a lot of different ones, right? Like you get these weird emails. Now we even get spam calls, right? The FBI is coming for you right now if you don't pay us $1 million. I'm like, first off, whoever you think I am, you've got it wrong. I don't have the $1 million you're looking for. Second, the FBI is coming to get the $1 million from you? Like, I don't understand.
My favorite one is student loans. I keep getting every other day, I get student loan calls. I don't have any student loans right now.
Yeah,
you will. You're about to.
For like a car warranty, and I obviously don't drive a car, so that's always fun. Yeah, since moving, I now answer my phone all the time because I never know, like, when I set up my Wi-Fi, when I set up like my gas, when I set up my electric, like I was having a whole bunch of people calling me all the time, so I always had to answer in case it was like important. And then I guess like the scam people notice that I like always answered.
Yeah.
So they know that I'm always gonna answer. So I mean it. I get 2 calls a day, and it's always about my car that doesn't exist or like Social Security, which like also I don't have Social Security yet. So like
I tried to figure. Yeah, I tried to figure it out one time because I was like, all right, there's days that go by and I don't get a single number, and then there's some days where it's like number 6, number 7. I've had one machine, it was a machine, and it like called me and I swiped no, called me immediately right back. I swiped no and it stopped. And then it called me back again. And I like went, I was like, what is the number? The other one that gets me is that it'll say you missed a call, your phone never rang, and you have a voicemail.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
Why?
And you're like,
that's so creepy.
Yeah, because it'll be like 8 people called me, and it's like, nope, not a single person called you, but you have 5 new voicemails from robots.
Yeah.
That's how Skynet was born.
I I actually almost successfully got scammed the other day. I was trying to sell a piece of furniture, and the person that I was like messaging back and forth with was like, "Oh, I just sent you a code. Like, send me the code so I know you're real." And like, I knew it was like sketchy, like from the second they sent it to me, but there was like a second, I don't know, like I did like double guess myself, or what's it, not double guess, what's the word, second guess. I did like second guess myself. I
Same
was
thing.
like, what if this is just like a nice person trying to not get scammed? For like a second I thought maybe, and then I was like, no, this motherfucker.
You're like, everyone's
Yeah.
garbage, and so is this guy.
It's also gotten really strange because if you experience that, it gives you some kind of, I mean, you get experience, right? So if you obviously had a little bit of intuition already, and now it's probably a little bit stronger, but I really do think that we are going into a really interesting world, right? Where cryptocurrency is being talked about going like onto a global scale. And then it's like, okay, but anything that's digital can be hacked, right? And people are like, well, yeah. And it's like this weird game of cops and robbers slowly turning into like the digital world. And I think it's weird because there are things that go around where they try to get you to buy Bitcoin so that you can give it to them to like whatever. And it gets super weird because people are like, oh wow, because they're like, yo, Bitcoin, it's gonna blow up. We're gonna take this money and we're gonna, or whatever they do, they try to get you to convert it to Bitcoin and then they just take the account. And so like scammers have been around, I think, since like probably who knows when, but like imagine the 80s, right? Like
The beginning of time.
telephones.
There's always,
Yeah.
as long as there's been a prostitute, there's been a scammer. They're both like the oldest professions. Or that's what I believe. I don't know historically.
You're like, hang on, let me call a doctor friend then. Right.
Jesus was getting scammed, I'm sure of it.
He was a nice guy. He probably got taken advantage of. Like, yeah.
Oh wow.
That dude wasn't sick. He was scamming Jesus.
Gets free wine. No, I don't know how to think about it sometimes because I try, okay, so one thing that's been interesting is when I started really paying attention to like mental health and trying to figure out what that even meant, right? One thing you would think about it is what causes you to think or feel certain things. And I think something that was really strange to me is there are a lot of things that happen in the world where you learn about it because literally if you just open this portal, your laptop or whatever, you can access information about anything, good or bad. And we get a lot of bad stuff. And I think it's interesting because one thing where I've had to practice like failing over and over and like trying to get back is the whole, oh wow, like there's a lot of suffering going on and I completely ignore the fact that there's like good stuff,
It reminds me, I recently, I don't know where I watched it, but like a video or a story about a scammer, the traditional like Nigerian prince kind of scammer thing. Someone from a foreign country was trying to scam an American, and it was clear the person didn't speak much English, and they were kind of, asking them to pay a certain amount of money for blah, blah, blah. And the American dude was like, I'm just going to play into it. He was going to try to scam the scammer, like quote unquote. And he's like, all right, if I pay you this money, can you, like, I need a picture or some photography done or blah, blah, blah. And the guy sends him like this really grainy picture. Like it's obvious he's on like an older phone of like a sunset or like the backdrop of wherever he is. And basically they form a relationship where the guy sends him a camera and like he starts sending him better and better pictures. And then it evolved into the guy going, I can't scam this scammer anymore. Like he's doing legitimate work at this point. Like he's actually trying. Oh, and then it's a pretty beautiful story because he like met the dude virtually and then I think eventually in person, and they started like a charity group or something like that to help fund his village where the original quote unquote scammer lived, and he turned it into a good thing. And at the end of the day, the guy on the other end was just trying to like, you know, feed his family and his kids and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying every scammer is that nice story because there's just some assholes out there, but that made me like feel more
Makes you
positive
wonder.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it seems for most people, I think, hard to think of a situation where you're like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do to feed myself or like my village or people or family or whatever, my dog. And so they go, okay, I've come up with a plan. And literally the plan's like, hey, we're going to scam, or maybe they don't even think it's a scam. We're going to convince someone to give us their money. That's what we're going to do. Right. And
Yeah.
that's how sales was invented.
Which is the worst.
It's so weird that it's been like turned into it's a whole thing in itself. Like it's a skill. There are people that they are salespeople. They learned how to do it.
There's some people
and
that
they
are
go-
very good at it. Yeah.
Well, and it's a skill. Like
Mhm.
you can go learn how to sell. And I think when I was trying to get into like communications, like PR type stuff, right? Because I thought that would be an interesting field. And I started to really learn about, you know, there's a whole psychology and how advertising works. I kind of backed off because it got like really dark really fast in terms of, all right, so we dissected the human like psyche, and we're just going to get in there and we're going to sell some, you know, Downy. Everybody's going to want some Coca-Cola. Like we're going to do it. And it's a thing. I mean, they talk about even the color coding of like fast
Yeah.
food, you know.
Yeah.
That's a success, right? I'm sure the failing in that led to that brilliant, you know, $1 billion industry. Hey, so I'm getting into advertising, guys.
Mm.
So I am curious, you know, just before like this episode ends, I mean, really, so your plan is to like do this sofa thing and you're gonna cut this couch, like you're gonna chop it up real good, or is that kind of a joke? Is that real?
No,
No, she's yeah.
It's happening tomorrow. You're gonna
I really did email this Dr. Sofa. Excuse me. This Dr. Sofa. I really hope they get back to me, and I really hope they can cut into my couch, because not only do I want a smaller couch so I can live my life the way I want to, I just think that'd be fucking sick if someone were to cut into my couch with a chainsaw. That sounds awesome. And then if that doesn't work out, as crazy as it sounds, I think I'm gonna return it. Like I literally can't. There's no point in having this whole apartment to myself if I literally can't do anything with it except
Right.
for a couch. So like I think I'm literally just gonna have to like pay someone to deassemble it, pay another person to package it back up, pay another person to ship it out, and just get a new fucking couch. I have 90 days to return it, so as long as I don't like pee on it, I think it'll be fine.
or forget that you have to do it, right? Like 91 days goes by and you go, oh right, and then
You would be shocked how often I've done that. Like
I do
said,
that so often.
tasks, not my strong suit. I almost never return things on time. But the rage I feel towards this couch, I have a feeling I'll get it done. I
the
am
proper motivation.
so ready to not have this, not to live on this.
He looks so
So-
innocent back there too. It's hard.
Like when it hurt a fly, right?
The few people I have told about this, the few people I have sent pictures of the couch to, they're all like, "Oh, like it's beautiful, it's nice," and I'm like, I can't even believe you right now. Like, I can't believe you would say something so horrible to me. Like, where is the support?
You're gonna have someone who goes, oh, you got rid of the couch. You'd be like, it was there for 3 days.
I'm getting rid of our friendship now because
Because of a couch. The couch is that evil.
Mhm.
Well, I hope in like 6 weeks or 6 months or whatever, we have you back on the show and
will
you go,
definitely
by the way,
update.
do I?
I said I will definitely give you a couch update.
I want like a before and after, and then like a video of the process, the whole.
I'm pretty sure the couch is still going to be there. And you're going to tell us about how much you love the couch. And we're going to have this whole like story and it's going to be amazing. And we'll play clips from this one where you're like, I hate this couch. And then right next to it, you're being like, this couch is my dream couch.
No, Sam, I
It's not
thought
going to happen.
we could be friends, but it's not.
This interview is over. Turns it off. Oh,
Just
wow.
click.
She unplugged her computer. Holy moly. Hey, so I'm gonna put you on the spot because I do this for everyone right at the end. Um, and it could be about what not to do when you get your own apartment and order a couch. But I like to give you the floor for like whatever you want to say. You can shout out your Instagram. You can talk about like one thing you think people should know in terms of learning from failure, or again, it can be about how not to buy a couch.
Um, First off, I would very much like nobody to try to find me on the internet after this. Don't look at my Instagram or my Twitter. Just don't fucking do it. I'm just kidding. They're normal. I actually don't have
Don't
this.
look at 2008 Facebook, right?
Don't look at my FML posts from when I was 14. Don't do it. Secondly, yeah, I really don't know what advice I have except for if you have ADHD, maybe get some Adderall, maybe actually get medicated for that because you will buy a couch that ruins your life. Um, I guess the ideal situation is to measure the entire apartment before you move into it and then draw out like a graph and then get all the measurements online and then like draw a little diagram so you know exactly how everything's gonna work out. That's the dumbest thing I can suggest, but I think it would have worked for me.
I think there are people that literally will make 3D model diagrams of where they're living. I've seen people do it. So I don't do that. I haven't done that yet. I take like, oh, it's a coffee table, throw it in there, right? All right, a new chair.
I've done it before, and I would have done it if I were allowed into this apartment before I moved in, but I was not, which is a whole another story. But yeah, make a graph is my
Make a graph.
advice. Also, maybe read the instructions before you buy something.
Never done that.
Yeah, no, but I do appreciate that. You definitely have an interesting learning experience of just from the environment that you live in, right? Like the way the situation was of apartment living, or you know what I mean. I don't know if I could survive it. I don't think I could.
I'm barely hanging on, Sam.
So I would tell you, burn the couch. It was an accident. And then get camping chairs that fold and unfold, and you have all the space in the world, you know?
I mean, I was living on like a rolling chair before I got the couch. At the time I hated it, but now not so bad.
Looking
Not so
back.
much.
Not so bad. That
Should
rolling
have kept the
chair.
rolling chair. Wow.
Mm.
Actually, that's some great advice in itself, right? Get a rolly chair, right? Roll all over that apartment or house, or until you get like that really like shag carpet and it gets stuck in the wheel, and then well, that's a whole figure it all out. That's what failure is about.
If you have carpet, get a beanbag. There you go.
Really
Hey,
I'm struggling with. Like, I really am attracted to kind of like immature, like my last apartment looked like a college dorm room. Like, I just like love things that teenagers love, and it's like embarrassing. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna be an adult. I'm only gonna get like chic West Elm shit. Like, I want people to think that I like have it together. But I want a shag carpet so bad. I love them so much. Like,
I feel like it's back in style. You can do it.
maybe,
just do it.
maybe.
You have to wear bell bottoms all the time though, and people are gonna be like, "What?"
I keep seeing bean bags that I want. I want blow up chairs. And I'm like, no, that's not what an intellectual would have. You have a shitty couch.
Just be yourself. You got to lean into it.
Yeah, you only have one life. You might as well just get the shag carpet and the beanbag. A beanbag made out of shag carpet. I'm not gonna lie to you. At some point in time, I figure if I get wealthy enough, people won't even question it. But I want one of those, like it's a chair, but it's a hand.
I knew you were going to say it.
Yeah, I want that. And I just want to sit there and be like, look at my hand chair. And people are like, it sucks. And I'd be like, it does suck, but look at it.
All I can think of is like you both want some combination of the room that Tom Hanks had in Big, like with he was a kid with adult money, like that kind of thing.
Actually,
Yeah. That's 100% right. And then we just put a picture of it. Big, right? No, awesome. I don't know. I'm moving soon, so maybe I will. I'll just like get shag carpet, get Velcro walls so I can walk on the walls. It'll be cool. Be hit.
Did you say carpet on the walls?
No, like Velcro. So you can get special shoes and walk on the Velcro. Is that not a thing? Richie Rich? Maybe I'm making it up. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think it's a real thing,
but it could be.
try.
All right, so we all agree we're now a team and we're going to make Velcro walls. So we have special Velcro shoes that allow us to walk on the wall.
Call them frog walls. There you go.
Okay.
$1 billion
already coming.
idea.
Boom. Someone's taking that idea right now and they're like, and we're going to make a kids zone where they have like, slides and, they're got monkey bars and then, Velcro walls where the parents are like, come back, and the kids just running up on the ceiling.
I think it might work for a child. I think they weigh less enough where like maybe they could actually do that. You would die immediately, but I think they could do
I've got the core strength of a person that would fall off a Velcro wall. Okay.
I believe that. I'll know when I see it.
No, I just said I would fall. I don't have the core strength.
Oh.
Well, it's not even core strength.
But
it's the strength of the Velcro.
Well, here's the other thing. I know they have really intense Velcro, and if you had like 4 points of contact, I think it could hold you enough. But you would have to like crawl around. It'd be like a horror movie. You'd be like those weird little demons crawling on the wall, but Velcro.
You know what has Velcro on it?
What's that?
Oh, wow. You know what has Velcro on it?
No.
The couch.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I think with 4 contact points, you could do it. I believe you.
Yeah, but name like 2 adults in your life that would go, yeah, I would go spend money on that.
I think I probably would.
I think a lot of adults would. Adults.
Yeah, if my life weren't at risk, I think I would.
This couch. Damn couch, right? I really hope that in 6 months we have her back on and it's gotten way better. Like there's a whole saga to the couch story and we're like, wow, it got so much worse than we thought it could. But then it ended on like a beautiful, sunshiny.
I don't think we're gonna get a beautiful story out of this one, Sam. I think we gotta let it be what it is.
I mean, it's not like they're gonna come in here with a chainsaw and do it in here. Like if they agree to cut apart my couch, I probably still have to like bring it down the stairs, get it shipped to the Dr. Sofa people. So don't worry, Sam. It's still going to be an extremely terrible ordeal that I'll be super stressed about. So don't you worry about that.
But you're going to overcome it, right? This is how we're going to end the story, right? You overcome it. You end up having like the.
She's shaking her head.
Like, no, sir. That's not how we do it here. Okay.
I will try my darndest.
I think. I think it's gonna be. I'm gonna be like, hey Megan, have you talked to Sondra recently? And you'd be like, I haven't. I'll be like, oh no, the couch.
No, well, I bet Dr. Sofa will solve all of my problems. I have faith in him if he exists.
It's like Dr. Dre.
Dr.
It's like
Sofa.
it's Dr. Sofa. He's just a rapper. That he's a doctor. Yeah. I tried, but right. Hey, so we really enjoyed having you on here today. Thanks for coming on. Hopefully you had fun.
Thanks for letting me vent about my couch.
Yeah, dang couch. So this is where Megan does her thing. She actually beatboxes us out of the show while talking about social media.
Not after take it away, last Megan. Time. I will never do it again.
That was a one-time only beatbox exclusive.
And then everyone's gonna be like, "Where's that episode?" It is gone.
People are gonna start digging the lost archives.
So yeah, social media. I guess I should be excited for it. Social media. Social media. You can find us on all of our socials at Friends of Failure. You know where to go. We're most active on Instagram and TikTok. Check us out on YouTube and you can see our faces if you're into that. If you want to see what's going on behind the voice, I don't blame you if you don't. It's cool either way. And then please rate, follow, subscribe, smash that subscribe button. I don't know how to, be a YouTube person, but yeah. Got our sound effects. I think the biggest thing is rating and reviewing. Just let us know how we're doing. Let us know if you also hate the couch. We need a poll of the amount of people that would help Saw Sondra's couch. One of our favorite call outs is to send in your failures. You can email those to friendsoffailurepodcast@gmail.com, or you can call Ethel, our voicemail box, at 916-304-3545.
Yeah, and I have a feeling that a certain couch that we won't name is going to call and talk about how like crazy it was that some guy named Dr. Sofa showed up with a chainsaw, and the couch was like, not today, and like starts fighting the chainsaw, but like he has to learn to overcome, you know, trauma of its past, and you know, it becomes friends with the chainsaw man. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get some great stories this week.
We need an animated reenactment of the sofa's perspective on the whole thing.
Here we go. Now it's time. We're just waiting. Someone's gonna do it. We're just waiting. Awesome. I had a great time today. Thank you for joining us. Definitely check out the socials. And of course, life is happening for you, not to you. So go out there and fail.
If it's not I'm stronger than you, it's I'm wiser than you, I'm more loving than you, I'm more tolerant than you, I'm more sophisticated than you. It doesn't matter what it is, but this constant competition is going on. This is the secret. This is the secret. You can't make a mistake.